Alrighty, guys. Today you are going to be doing the argument research. You should by now have put the debate topic for things you already know about the topic or more. You are more than welcome to add columns. Don't limit yourself. And the background information. Now, you may add more background information as you go. You may find information that doesn't necessarily fall into the quote unquote arguments category. That's more historical background, context, definitions, or main ideas. And so feel free to add again more rows by highlighting and then right clicking and clicking insert row below or however you want to do it. But today we're going to be taking notes on your side of the argument. You may recall yesterday I showed you a paraphrasing video. You should have obviously paraphrased information for the background, but you're going to continue doing that with the argument. So let's say, for example, you are researching artificial intelligence and you are the pro side. You're going to start reading the arguments. One thing that's really important, though, is to not only understand the arguments, but understand where they came from and who has been cited, for the source. You'll notice here at the bottom, at the end of each paragraph, you have an in-text citation. If you click that hyperlink, it'll bring you to a list of sources. Okay, this one's number 23. So let's click on this one. It says Bernard Marr. Okay, and what we have here is an article that is from Forbes, and that was what was referenced. And so what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight that article and paste it here so that way I know the source. Now, what is Forbes though? If we click on it and you go to, let's go back for a second, and you click on there. So let's say I was brought to the article like here, and I click on Forbes. Usually at the very end of the web page, you'll have some kind of like about us section. So I'm going to click down here, and down here it says who we are. If I click on that, it's going to tell me a little bit about what Forbes magazine is. So if someone pressed me and was like, well, why is your source valid, right? What makes Forbes a good source for information about, artificial intelligence? Well, you could cite, well, they are a highly award-winning magazine. They have, 5.3 million readers worldwide, right? and things like that. And so that provides some kind of credibility to your, to your position. So that is important to be able to do. Let's go back though. This article, one thing that's really nice here is they link most of the articles that they refer to, unless they are like in print. This one is not in print, but I'm not sure why it's not directly linked. I guess we can probably click on that and find it. So if I click on this article, it's going to bring me to the original source. And definitely recommend that you read the information and find out where your arguments have come from. Other thing I like is that you can really get into a rabbit hole here. You notice there's a video here, and if you just keep, you can pretty much keep going. So it's really going to be up to you to decide how deep you want to go with your research. You obviously have to have the very minimum, the arguments and the counter arguments down here, but definitely paraphrase at least 5 arguments, cite the source, and do a little research about what the source is. And I would encourage you, if you have additional time, to start reading those articles that procon.org read and paraphrased for you. So obviously this is it's what's called tertiary sourcing. The original source is this one right here, right? Then you have the secondary source, which is procon.org, and then you really are the tertiary source for your debate. You're going to be re-paraphrasing what's already been paraphrased. So, not the best way to do research. Really, the best way to do research is go directly to the source. But for purposes of making this easier for you, that's how we're going to do it. Once you are done with the arguments, you're going to go to the counter arguments. A counter argument is the opposing side's argument. And you're going to think about rebuttals to those counter arguments. So how are you going to prove those arguments wrong? So here you're going to list, so let's go here. If you're arguing pro, your counter arguments are going to be found on the opposing side, right? That's the opposing position. So you're going to start reading these ones now. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to start paraphrasing the counter arguments. And you're going to think about if someone on the opposing side brought that argument up, how would you rebut them? Is there information from the sources that you can use to show why they're wrong? Is there something that you can say, common sense wise, based on logic, that would show that they're wrong? Okay. or based on experience. So you're going to do 3 counterarguments, and you're going to think of rebuttals. The more detail you put here, the better your overall preparation sheet's going to be, the more prepared you're going to be for the debate. So that's all you got to do today is the arguments and the counterarguments. And if you get stuck, just call me over. I'll be more than happy to help you out. But enjoy the research project. Enjoy getting caught into rabbit holes and going down them and seeing what you discover. Because part of what we're doing here is allowing you to research something that maybe you only know a little bit about and that you want to discover more on. All right, good luck. Let me know if you need help, and yeah.